Good morning, dear students. Myself, Professor Narayana Das. Today, I am going to discuss about the topic types of controlling and the steps of controlling. So, these two topics belongs to the subject Principles of Management for the course Bachelors of Business Management, that is BBM. Now, we'll see what are the types of managerial control. Standardizing control. So, standardizing control is nothing but the controls which are used to standardize the performance for what sake, for increasing the efficiency sake. So the cost may be reduced by the time, and cost may be reduced by time and motion studies, inspections charges, and work schedules. So we can have a types of controlling called as standardizing control. The second one is preserving control, where companies' assets are protected or preserved through the allocations of responsibilities. This control, which focuses on controlling the assets or properties, either it could be tangible properties or intangible properties of the organizations. Proper accounts are maintained for the assets and the usage of assets, and which are controlled and put under strict supervisions or surveillance. And the third types of managerial control is measurement control. So these controls are used to measure the job performance, to assess the performance of an employees. Performance is measured through special reports, or either it could be budgets or a standard cost and productions as per hour basis of the employee. So the fourth aspect is the types of managerial control is motivating control. So these controls which are designed to ensure to motivate the employees of the organizations. So motivation is an important element in the organizations. It includes, for motivation, why it is required. Motivation is required to push the employees to change the behavior from negative attitudes to the positive attitudes of the employees. Motivation is required. It includes for promotion and rewards for best opinions and operations, and of course it's linked to profit sharing and likes. And the last aspect or types of managerial control is delegations of authority. So control puts some limits to the usage or delegation of authority. Here the approval of the top management is very much necessary to use the delegations of authorities. So policy manual, policy procedures, or procedural manuals and internal audits are some of the techniques which are included in this type of control. Now we'll see what are the other techniques of control. There are two types techniques of control will be there. One is budgetary control. So budgeting control is a tool which is used by the management to obtain the objectives which are expressed in the form of control results. It is from the implementation of such a policy where budget control is a continuous process, no, and but of course budget is an end process for specific period of time. Though it is continuous, but it has got a certain end point, say maybe quarterly, half yearly, or yearly. So it includes cash budget or capital budget, sales budget, promotion or production budget, you know, uh, labor budget, raw material budgets, overhead budget of the production, and master budget also. And we have one more techniques of control called non-budgetary control techniques, where it refers to all the types of all the techniques of a control which are other than no techniques of budgetary control. For example, internal audit controls, external audit controls, inventory controls, report systems, quality controls, management information system, etc. So this belongs to the non-budgetary techniques of controlling. Now we'll move on to the steps in controlling. What are the different types of steps in controlling? So number one is establishing a standards. Establishing standards, it captures the setting of standards, standards may be qualitative or quantitative. Most of the standards which are expressed in nature. So it is very much necessary to find out the results which are desired or expected. It is very much useful to setting the standards. If it is not, useful control will not be possible. So hence, standards may not be quantitative or qualitative. Most of the standards are expressed in terms of quantity. So the other aspects or steps in controlling is measuring the performance. The performance should be measured and needs to be compared with the established standards. So necessary information should be collected about the performance. Effective management information system, it takes into consideration of necessary information for performance analysis. Several management techniques which are employed by the management to measure the performance. One here, performance can be measured, assessed performance needs to be compared, and various techniques which are involved into measuring the performance also. And the third techniques or third steps in control is comparison of actual performance with that of standards. Here, assessed performance which will be assessed via previous stages and needs to be compared. If the results of performance deviates from the planned ones, so there is a need to inform to the management. So whenever there is an actual performance is compared with the standard ones, there will be a deviations. So in that deviations which must be explained to the management. If the management may find out the extent of deviations and identify the reasons for deviations on a reasonable time. So assessed performance which were assessed in such a way, if the result of performance deviates from the planned ones, there is a need to bring a notice to the higher level also. And the fourth aspect or the types of controlling is taking corrective decisions. So corrective decisions includes, management has to find out the previously the reason and taking corrective actions. The cause of deviations may be due to the inadequate or ineffective communications also. The management has to take a necessary actions on the basis of nature of causes of deviations. So appropriate actions must be taken to corrective deviations. It could be training and development of employees, or effective supervisions and motivation of persons. So these are all the steps in controlling. With all this, we can conclude this lecture. So far we have covered what are the types of managerial control. So in addition to which we have discussed about budgetary control and non-budgetary control, and in addition to which we have also covered the steps in controlling and how we can take an effective manner. So with this, dear students, you can refer the textbooks which are available in the market. T. Ramaswamy, The Principles of Management, Himalaya Publishing House, and it is for 2014 edition it belongs to, and R. Mugeshappa and others, the same title, Principles of Management. So publisher name is Himalaya Publishing House. It is 2017 editions. So these two topics, so it will certainly enhances your knowledge. So you need to know extensively, take thoroughly go through the books. What I am suggesting is you need not necessarily restrict to only these two textbooks. You can also refer various journals, magazines, or which are available in the online. So you can just type the necessary titles or subtitles and key it and do search in various search engines. You can able to handle your queries. So that's all. Thanking you, dear students. Thanking you for giving an opportunity.